And welcome to First Coast Living. It was a tough weekend for our First Coast community, and we are definitely thinking of those who are hurting.
Yeah, Dr. Tracy Packiam is here for Mental Health Monday, and we have asked her to give us some tools to deal with stress following the mass shooting in our community and looking ahead to the potential storm that Lauren was just talking about. Great job, Lauren, too, with all that information. Yeah, so thank you again, Dr. Tracy, for coming here.
Thank you so much for having me. We do know there's a number of published research to show that circumstances like what you just described cause acute stress, this sort of short period of stress, and it's important not to overlook the impact that it can have on our mental health.
Yes.
And so how do we navigate those kind of stresses? One
great tip that research has shown is to express gratitude. So this is coming from a very specific study where they asked people to journal. They said write about just one thing that you're grateful for each day versus just writing about your day. And they found that by being intentional and focusing on something you're actually grateful for, in 10 weeks, not only did it improve their mental health, it also improved their physical health, and they visited the doctor fewer times. So not that I want to, run a doctor out of business here, but it can actually reduce your stress levels. It can improve your health and your heart rate as well.
On your own. So when someone is dealing with something like this, right, they're probably thinking, gratitude, that seems so weird to be thinking about right now. So are you referring to just everyday gratitude, or are we trying to spin what happened into how something good could eventually come out of this?
No, it's everyday gratitude, because what it does is ground you in the present moment. So a lot of times depression, we're focused on the past, and anxiety, we're focused on the future. And when things like this happen, it's very common to feel that heightened sense of anxiety. We don't know, the futures are known, could this happen again, how does this impact us? And by being grateful, it puts us back in the present. Where am I today? What am I thankful for right now? And so just even taking a minute at the end of each day to write down, to be intentional, or even say it out aloud. Studies have shown by hearing your own voice, it's almost like a third person saying, hey Tracy, today you feel grateful for this. And it has a different impact on your kind of brain structure, your wiring.
That is interesting.
Really cool.
And that kind of brings us to the next one. You say smile, but in a time like this too, that's almost kind of like not what you'd be expecting to hear. So discuss that a little bit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's hard to smile, but that's part of a self-care thing. And studies show that smiling has two benefits. One, it releases endorphins, so it kind of is a pain suppressant. And second of all, it reduces cortisol, our stress hormone. So there are really chemical benefits simply by smiling. And if you're finding it difficult to find a reason to smile like you discussed, here are two tips. One, you can bite a pencil this way, so it tricks your brain. It's kind of like a brain hack. When your muscles move up in the shape of a smile, your brain thinks, well, okay, my muscles are moving up, I guess I must feel happy.
It's a signal.
It is a signal. Yeah, so it kind of
exactly
it tricks your brain into thinking, I guess I'm happy because my face is moving up.
Now, we did talk about that one time when we did Zooms back in the day, and I use that trick. So there have been times where I get in my head and I think about different things that are really stressful or sad, and it feels weird in that moment to smile, but as soon as I force myself just to do that, it does feel a little bit better. Like you do notice a difference. So try that next time.
Yes, or watch a funny animal video. That's another one that found.
Yes. Okay, so you mentioned the pencil, and then what was the second thing?
Watching a funny video. An animal video. There's lots of research to actually show that even 15 seconds can release that endorphins and reduce that cortisol level that we talked about.
That's awesome. And you know that's the truth. You've seen little videos
next to someone with a dog shirt.
Yeah, there you go. That's making me smile for sure, that shirt. Okay.
So talk to us about lending a hand.
Yeah, so this is a really important one, because when we feel circumstances are happening that are out of our control, we often feel disconnected.
Yes.
And we want to feel that sense of belonging. And think of something concrete. How can you contribute? What can you do to volunteer? Maybe with your children, you can say, let's put aside some clothes, some toys that we can donate. For you, what can you do for your community? And studies again have shown that by volunteering, by contributing, you're connecting yourself. You're not kind of floating away in this anxiety cloud. What will happen? I don't know. But you're saying, this is my community. I'm part of this. We're in this together.
Right. And sometimes when you start thinking that, it's very hard to get out of that cycle of, depression or stress, anxiety or whatever. So thank you for those tips.
Thank you.
We need a little bit of lightness right now. And so we're going to try
that was definitely important.
And keep the lightness going for you. So of course we wanted to be on your side and give you some tips of what you can do in a situation like this. So, but I think it's time to add a little lightness.
Yeah, so despite the stress, we're still going to have some fun today. So we brought in some very cool folks. The local teen ninja warrior, Alex Romer, is